optimizing texture space. So what does that mean? Well, we want to fit as many shells in this area as possible and maximize the areas that need the highest texture density. Because the larger textures we use, the more memory it's going to take and the longer it'll take to render. So you really want to maximize the areas, especially if you're going to work in video games. So one of the things we're going to do here is we're going to pretend that the sides of the building will be the same, and then the front and the back will be the same. And so I'm going to move these shells around. I'm actually going to overlap some of these shells. So I'm going to find out, let's see, this is the side here. Let's see if this is also a side. And so these now are discrete shells. To select a shell, I'm going to select a UV point here. And then I'm going to control and right click and say to shell. So now if that's the correct shell, and I move it around, yep, then I'm good to go. So these two shells are the sides, and then these two would be the front and the back. So I'm usually to line them up, I'll hold down the X key and I'm snapping to the grid. Now if it happens that your object snaps to a point, you need to go into the move settings and turn on this retain component spacing. So I've done that. So I'm going to take these and go to shell and rotate this. I'm going to snap rotate by holding down the J key and go to shell. And now I've got these two, and we're going to line them up. Now this is the floor. Now, or the bottom of the object. Now, if I was going to, if the floor was unimportant, I could sort of delete that polygon, or I could just minimize it in the texture window. But in terms of maximizing UV space, one of the things that I want to do is I want to make sure I can get these as large as possible and fit them all in this 0 to 1 area. So that's looking pretty good. Also, you want to make sure that you leave a little bit of space between your objects, between your shells. And that has to do with texture painting. Sometimes your texture painting will go slightly over the shells, and that can cause some problems. But this is looking pretty good. And so for now, I'm going to output this as a snapshot to Photoshop. I'm going to color in the areas with brick and a top shader for the roof, and then I'll bring it back and show the final texture here. So in order to do that, in order to output this as a snapshot, so we have a guide in Photoshop, you go to Polygons. Let's move this up here. It's a Polygons UV Snapshot. And in order for UV Snapshot to work, you have to be selecting the object. And you need to specify the size and what image format you're going to do. So I'm going to output this to my images, and I've already done that. So let me quickly show you the object that I've done and open up Photoshop. Here's the UV snapshot that I've created. And what I've done is I've gone in and I've already made the textures. So I made a door. This would be, since these two shells are overlapping, so that would be the front and the back, and then this would be the side of the building. And so let's output this as a texture. So I'm going to save this. And in terms of naming conventions, I will usually put like color or bump or specular maps. And in terms of the size, this is a 1K image. So it's 1024 by 1024. So let's go back into Maya and let's see how that applies, if that applies correctly. So let's create a new blin. So I'm going to assign favorite material blin. I'm going to assign a texture. And then on my, that should be right. I saved that right in the under Documents, Maya, Projects, Default, and that would be under the Source Images folder. So here's the house color. I'm going to hit Open. You can see that that worked just great. Now, as I mentioned before, we've got a little bit of an alignment issue. But that will be for the next video in terms of how to fix that, and we can talk about, maybe in class on Tuesday I'll present how to create bump maps and how to fix the alignment on some of these bricks so that it goes across seamlessly on these tiles and on the roof. But that's a great start and a good introduction to UV mapping. So, see you on Tuesday, and hopefully this video will get you trying this out and also get you to have some questions. See you then.